Well, hello there, I'm Détroit. Today I'm not making an abstract drawing like I usually do. It's not an automatic drawing thing where I don't know where the pen will take me. Instead, I want to represent a coastal city. I can't express it properly with the right words, so just watch the video and subscribe. I'm drawing with a rotring isograph, and later on I'll be using Faber-Castell brush pens. If you want to know more about these, ask me in the comments. So while I draw this city front, there is something I want to talk about, and today's topic is art school, or why I didn't go to art school, or how to recreate art school without going to one. I didn't go to art school. I did nothing even remotely close to that, and so if you are hesitating or you have different opportunities, here are my pros and cons, as well as what I hope I could have learned in art school. First off, let's get an important question out of the way: the price of going to art school. Any specific school tends to be expensive. It's not as much the case in Europe, where most higher education is free or costs next to nothing, but still, going to art school is an investment, both in money and in time. With how difficult it seems to be finding a stable job involving arts, I would say that art school seems to be a never-ending hole for your wallet compared to other fields. Besides, when you have people like myself all over the place who didn't go to art school but are still creating art regularly and getting better at it, it makes you wonder if it's worth it. For example, I did an engineering school and got a master's degree in quantum physics. Now I'm doing my PhD, and yet I am still improving my art skills every day. So, is art school completely useless? Of course not. There are things you can't learn any other way, I believe. What's most important with art school isn't the skill you learn, but the methods. The skills you can learn anywhere, like YouTube. I'll touch on that a bit later on. But methods is what is really important here. By going to a proper establishment and having teachers, you learn methods. You learn how to approach the different aspects of art, how to have a workflow, and you can make a network. Nobody knows how you work better than yourself, but art school might help you find the way to harness your abilities. Good teachers will be able to make you give out 100% of what you're capable of. If you're learning by yourself, it will take a lot longer to learn how to do things because you have to find your own method of learning. At the same time, going to art school, you do art. If you don't go, then you will probably do something else, and that will leave you less time for arts, which is completely normal. But it means you will fall behind compared to someone who studies art. It's inevitable, and there is nothing to be ashamed of. Same goes for a network. Going to art school, you get to know people, colleagues, teachers, and it will certainly help you a lot afterwards when and if you're looking for a job. I don't think there is any way to replace that. I want to go back to the methods now, if you don't mind. I want to talk about maybe the most important aspect of the difference between art school and learning art on your own, and it has to do with motivation and context. Art school provides you with a clear context. You paid to go there, you're there, so you do art. If you're learning on your own, you have to motivate yourself to work on your art. You could play video games, so why would you choose to exercise your gesture drawings? It's much less fun. And even before that, you have to figure out what you need to work on, then find the right exercise for that, and then practice the right way. And when you're done, you're lacking a teacher or mentor to tell you what you did right and what was wrong. So instead of a, let's say, passive learning approach, if you're on your own, you have to do everything yourself, and it's easy to get lost. And you will get lost. You will pick up bad habits, you will practice the wrong thing, or you will lack an understanding of why you're doing this exercise. Going to art school, you won't think about it. You will just follow what the teacher says and you'll learn seamlessly. So that's definitely a plus for art school, the context and setting it gives you. On the other hand, if you're interested in practical skills, like let's say drawing anatomy, and you're not interested in landscapes or painting or charcoal or modern art, etc., then you don't need art school at all. If your goal is simply learning how to do things and not necessarily pursue art as a professional career, then maybe don't go to art school. Nowadays, there are thousands of ways to go about to learn arts. As I said earlier, YouTube is a perfect spot for that. It comes with its good points, but also bad points, of course. Any skill you can learn in school, you can find on the internet. An art teacher might give you 10 ways to draw anatomy, but internet will provide you with 100. However, the teacher will be able to teach you a way that's right for you, whereas the internet tutorials might not be what you need. There is also an inherent problem with the internet. You might straight up get bad advice. Anybody can say anything on the internet, and I'm no different from that. All I learned by myself and by following internet stuff if I needed. So when I make a tutorial of some sort, it could be straight up bad. I'm not a professional, my methods are not proven, my habits are not optimal. So instead of following what a teacher tells you, you also have the added work of confirming if that's what you're really looking for. I would say though that it's not too hard to do on the internet sometimes. While I'm a nobody, there are real professionals who share their skills with the rest of the world. I'm thinking of Proco, for example. Proco's classes are top-notch. His videos are the real thing, and if he makes a tutorial on how to draw anatomy, then you know it's good. But before you look up a random tutorial, find out if the person who made it actually knows what they're doing. So we talked about learning methods, learning skills, networking, and price. Now let's talk about some other aspects people might forget about when we talk about art school. If you just want to learn how to do art because of passion, there is a chance art school kills that passion. We generally see art as this subjective thing that is all about passion and feelings, but actually art is very logical. Making art is hard in general, and making good art is even harder. Going to art school, you might realize that a badly drawn character isn't modern art, it's just bad drawing. Art isn't just feeling the thing and getting inspired from the gods, it's actually pure logic. So if you like to do art just because it's a good time for you, then when you realize that everything is logic, it might kill your passion entirely. I've been using the example of anatomy a lot, so I'll stick to it. If you like to draw faces for fun, and you want to draw faces better, due to the amount of work it takes to understand facial features, bone structure, angle, light interaction, etc., you might not want to draw faces at all then. For skills like how to use pencil or charcoal or paint, it's fine because you can put it to use however you want, but when it touches on the subject of your art, then you can get disgusted. I see it myself when I practice. When I draw hands, it takes so much work to make it look like how I want it to look that by the end of it, I don't want to hear about hands for a while. I also know someone who loved to draw and who went to art school, and while they got better at art, or oil painting in their case, they kinda lost the spark to paint. Art has gone from a passion to just work. And I think it's definitely something to consider. Do you want to get better at art, or do you want to work on it? Depending on the answer, art school might or might not be the right path for you. In my case, why I didn't go to art school is both a simple and a hard question. I didn't choose art school because I wanted to pursue science at the time. I like drawing, but I didn't do it nearly as much as I do now. At the same time, scientific studies did give me the tools I needed to study art on my own, like I do now. I learned how to learn, if it makes sense. I learned to be critical and logical. Now that my studies are complete, well, almost complete, I think eventually I will enroll in art classes, but in specific classes. Like I want to learn how to paint or how to use charcoal. For general knowledge like anatomy or perspective, I can find the information on my own, but I don't think I can do that efficiently for practical skills. Along the years, especially the last 3 years, I've managed to find a workflow that works for me, and in this sense, I don't need the context of a school to find motivation to work. I forced myself to make 2 videos per week, so I need to draw at least twice a week. And because I have a wild imagination, there are a lot of things I want to draw that I am not capable of drawing, and so I know what I need to work on. I also like to learn by myself, so I don't mind taking a lot of time to learn something I could get in one short class. I like cross-referencing tutorials and adapting them to my needs. But yeah, to answer quickly, I didn't go to art school because I had better things to do at the time, and now I don't regret my choice. I could have learned a lot if I went to art school, but I don't think it was right for me at the time. But let me tell you something. If there comes a point in the future where I can make money from my art, that money will be dedicated to becoming better at it. I already have a plan, you know. If from YouTube or commissions I can make $50 a month, then I will start paying Adobe for the software that I use. If I make more, I will take classes and buy materials. While I'm still working in science, I don't need to make money with art. I have that covered. Instead, I'm biding my time, slowly getting better. If you want to help me eventually reach that point, the best way to do it is to subscribe. This will help me long term a lot. If you are interested in a specific drawing for yourself, don't hesitate to contact me on Instagram or Twitter and we can talk about commission work. If you don't want to pay for it, which I can understand, you can also write your drawing idea in the comments and I can make a video out of it. I hope this talk about art school was interesting. Keep in mind that I never went to art school and I'm just a rando on the internet talking out of my ass. I'm Detroit, and I'll see you soon. Bye!